the exclamation point for Boise State.
It's that time of the year. As the clocks turn back, here comes basketball. And it's time for the 53rd season of Boise State Broncos women's basketball as the College of Idaho Yotes come to ExtraMile Arena. I'm Tyler Lundquist alongside a, dare I say, Bronco legend and Shay Shaw. Shay, this is a team in Boise State who returns all 5 of their starters and 4 freshmen from last year, now sophomores, who are turning into a really stellar group.
I think the sophomore class has the opportunity to take this team pretty far.
I think if you take those 4 sophomores in Maya Hansen, Tata Thompson, Danny Bays, and Natalie Pasco, that group includes 2 All-Mountain West freshman team players from last year. You put them with this senior class of Muse and Lalott down low, lethal come conference play.
Absolutely lethal. It brings the whole team together, gives them different dynamics, different shooting opportunities, different post opportunities, and they really got it all.
It was an offseason of maturation for this squad all around, but especially for this year's sophomore class. Boise State all-time 15-0 against the Yotes. They have the 16th meeting coming up in just a little bit as the Broncos look to start off their 53rd season all-time with another win. Boise State basketball is back. Tip-off is on the other side. We welcome you inside ExtraMile Arena. As we just saw the new hype video for the Broncos in their 53rd season at Boise State. A team, Shay, that is finally healthy, ready to go. And also a team, I know we highlighted that this sophomore class, but at the end of the day, this is a team that is run by its 3 seniors, Mary Kay Narrow, Elodie Lalott, and Abby Muse. Those 3 are going to be trouble for just about any team that comes into this building, and they are impressive what they have been able to do in their careers so far.
Absolutely. They really are impressive, and they're a tough team to match up with. If I'm being honest, I think that they kind of have all of those little key elements that make them a little different and difficult to match up with.
They do have a whole new offense that they implemented this year. They want to get up and down a little more, push the pace, and it is those 3 seniors who are going to be in charge of that. And those 2 that I mentioned, Lalott and Muse, they're going to have to rim run pretty much every single break because that frees up the rest of the group to be able to find open shooters and really run their offense, and that's what they're all about. They're a team that's coming off of the worst turnover margin in the Mountain West a season ago. This year with the high-speed offense, Shay, what do you think you might see this year?
I think there's an opportunity for improvement on those turnovers and being a little more precise with their passes and looking for one another to clean up some of those turnovers.
Abby Muse wins the tip easily over the 5'10 Darby Avery. Kick back outside to Pasco. She penetrates and gets the easy bucket to start off the new season.
Nice strong drive by Pasco.
And Pasco, who was really seen more as a spot-up shooter last year, has certainly grown her game, more comfortable on the ball and on the dribble. Graham, a deep 3, cashes it in. And the Yotes are up early.
Elodie's got to get her hands up on that one.
Narrow travels on the jump stop. Mary Kay Narrow from Beaverton, Oregon. Sister on the team as well, Mackenzie. She'll come off the bench today, but Mary Kay in charge of running this offense. And pretty much everything goes through her hands and splits that responsibility with Maya Hansen as well, the sophomore #1 in white. Good contest as Reed goes up for the 3. Rebound by Lalott. High motor player. The big post from Paris. Narrow inside, goes into Muse. Great position. Fouled before the shot attempt. So baseline out of bounds coming up for the Broncos. First couple possessions, what have you seen so far?
I think they are looking to push it. I think they still can look a little bit more to push it. I noticed that Maya Hansen on the wing was wide open by Narrow, but she was missed, but got Abby on the inside, which is key to this offense.
Spot at mid-range from Pasco, misses the mark. And that's kind of the thing about high-tempo offense that a lot of people don't quite gather is it is so much more about these deep entry passes and passing it up the floor early. It's not necessarily just sprint dribbling across half court.
No, you got to sprint the floor, and once you're sprinting the floor, you can open up the middle and get it inside.
Trying to drive left on Hansen. No foul called off of the little bump. Here comes Hansen the other direction. Looks inside again. Muse, great position, kicks back. Pasco, corner pocket. Just misses, and Hirsch, the rebound going the other way for the College of Idaho. Reed to Graham, wants another, decides not to. Avery, dribble handoff to Walter Meyer. Hirsch up top, wants one-on-one with Lalott, crosses over, gets it swatted away. The first of many you will see from Elodie Lalott this year. It is those two inside, Abby Muse and Elodie Lalott. Abby Muse more so, 93 blocks a season ago. Set easily the single season record for Boise State. Darby Avery got to throw something up, finds Graham inside, finally gets it off in time, and gets it wedgied in the rim.
Yotes ball?
Yeah, Yotes ball goes to the possession arrow on that. Kind of incredible that with just 3 seconds left, Boise State's defense allows that kind of a look, even though it doesn't go. Reed to inbound, finds Hirsch as a safety valve, kicks it back to Avery. Walter Meyer thought about it, always keeps her eyes on the bucket anytime the ball's in her hands. Kick back to Hirsch, gets away. Abby Muse going after it, but it is a shot clock violation. Great defensive possession from the Broncos. Dribble handoff to Hansen, kicks back to Narrow, looks inside to Lalott, misses the first one, gets her own board, and puts it back up and in.
Nice second chance opportunity right there. Getting her own rebound and putting it back up.
Lalott, 74 offensive rebounds last year. Now a travel called on Kylie Waltermeyer. And another turnover for the Yotes. And already you're seeing this Boise State offense. They may have revamped it in the offseason, but the bread and butter is still getting it inside. That deep position just like that and force the foul. Abby Muse doing a great job off of the little short roll. Pasco, a little hesitation, throws up the floater, finds its way to Muse, and in an easy bucket for 33 in white. Another deep three from Graham, misses the mark, backboard all. Narrow now pushing the tempo, cuts back to the middle, finds a seam, puts it up, trickles it in, and the bucket. Great job of MK Narrow weaving her way through the Yotes transition defense. Few substitutions in for C of I. Anna Mooney, Mia Austin, and Brooke Beresford all come in for the Yotes. And Narrow converts the N1 opportunity. Walter Meyer looking to go baseline, kicks it back. Great anticipation from Mary Kay Otto. Goes into the blind spot, has it taken away. No, it's a jump ball. And the arrow points in the direction of the Broncos. So there's that push to the pace off of a turnover that Narrow is trying to bring her teammates to go with.
Inside again.
Kick back out, finds the open. Maya Hansen just rims out.
She's got a pretty shot.
Bree Graham, dribble handoff to Mia Austin. Austin puts up a floater, gets her own rebound, airballs the second. And a foul called on Maya Hansen down low on Brooke Beresford. Mia Hansen coming off of a 24-point, 0-assist game against Northwest Nazarene.
What?
If that doesn't scream Hooper, I don't know what does.
She must be getting a lot of her own rebounds. That's a lot of points.
Reminiscent of Zach Levine's 51 with no assists with the Bulls. Another jump ball, the third of the game so far. And it goes back to College of Idaho. Inbound to Beresford. And a hand check called on the lot.
Have to be careful down there. If you're post dribbling, you can't have your hand there.
Yeah,
It's
just
tough.
that little elbow, that little forearm in the backside.
It'll get you in trouble.
Safety valve to Austin. Resets the offense, gets a quick screen from Walter Meyer. Kick back to the lefty, backup point guard Anna Mooney. Walter Meyer, a pull-up three ball. Cashes it in again. Yotes have 2 field goals, both from beyond the arc. And a 9-6 lead for Boise State. Narrow, inside to Muse, kicks back to Lalott. A foul before that. They're going to have to double Muse and Lalott every single time on the inside. Boise State a 9-6 lead. More of the first coming back. Broncos lead the Yotes 9-6 about halfway through the first quarter. Taylor Lundquist with Shay Shaw. Shay, you have played in these early season, regular season games. What is it about these games that you really have to focus on?
You have to focus on the little things and the things that are going to be important later on down the road. One of those things being boxing out. It's always going to be important no matter how big or small your opponent is. And right now I think that's something that we should be focusing on.
And that's another thing when you have really such a safety blanket of Muse and Lalott inside, you feel like you don't really have to box out and play your part because they'll come down with pretty much anything.
Exactly.
And most of the time they will. But still, team rebounding is a big effort.
Absolutely. It's always important, and I know Sower's going to hit on it as much as she can, but boxing out is the key to second chance opportunities for us and for them.
Heather Sower in her 22nd season at Boise State. Can you believe that?
No.
And works with the post, works with the defense, and has done a spectacular job with this young core. You're going to see a few more of them check in as they await at the scorer's table. Walter Meyer trying to find some sort of opening. Goes to Bree Graham, guarded by Muse up top. 7 on the shot clock. Drives, goes to the left, blocked by Muse. And then a foul, most likely out of frustration from Bree Graham. And it's hard not to get frustrated when Abby Muse is guarding you.
Oh, yeah, you're getting blocked. It's hard to not want to get some retaliation back.
Look at that efficiency. Abby Muse, Defensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West last season, 93 blocks in a year. I mean, it's just unfathomable.
That's a lot of blocks.
Misses the front end of the 2 as Boise State has entered the bonus. 5 fouls on the Yotes so far in this first quarter. It is crazy to think that the program record before Abby Muse broke it last year was 147.
Total?
Total. And in
crazy.
a season, Abby Muse had 93.
That takes a lot of patience on her part. Because I know when I played, I wanted to block all the balls, but my timing was off, so I got a lot of fouls.
That tends to happen with most, and that says a lot about Abby Muse. Austin, step back dribble, looks inside to a cutting Mooney. Austin guarded by Hull, 3 on the clock, got to put something up, floats it, gets blocked again. The Broncos out in full force, narrow. Nice little give and go, has to kick back. Bays, just off the front rim. Tipped last by College of Idaho. Danny Bays coming off the bench this season. Another member along with Natalie Pascoe last season of the All-Mountain West freshman team. From Brisbane, Australia. Little curl, mid-range, butter. Avery Porter enters the game for C of I. Looking inside is Beresford, guarded by the new transfer, Alicia Christensen. She misses the mark. Bays looking inside. Hull had it blocked from behind by Avery Porter. And Hull off the bench had a great performance in the exhibition against the Masters a few days ago. Shay, how hard is it to provide a spark and so much energy coming off the bench as Bays knocks down a 3 from the corner wing?
I don't think it's hard. I think you're excited. You're coming off the bench. You're ready to get in the game. So coming off the bench, it should be fairly easy to give that spark. It's vocalizing that is the difficult part.
I think understanding the flow of the game, making sure you're in it every single possession while you are on the bench. You know everything that's going on. How the game plan is playing out. Yeah. Porter kicks to Beresford from the left elbow, knocks it in. 15-8, Broncos lead.
There's that tempo.
Inside to Christensen. Nice little baby hook from the transfer from the College of Southern Idaho. And she came to this team this offseason and just fit right in. They went on a bit of a team retreat, and typically most off seasons they will have a team retreat, but it won't be basketball related. This one was, and it allowed Alyssa Christensen to come in, really understand this new offense while everyone else was. Shay, let's talk a little bit about what you think Boise State needs to do in this game. You mentioned the little things, but I mean, it takes a lot to maintain focus all 40 minutes in one of these games.
Absolutely. I think the Broncos need to get out and run and look for who's open, look on the inside. But if you're also on getting the ball on the inside, you have options on the outside. Everyone's going to be collapsing in because we are bigger than the Yotes, and they need to be looking for their key shooters if they're not open themselves.
And for College of Idaho, they're going to have to score in the paint. When you're playing such a long and skilled defensive team like Boise State, it's so easy to just settle and chuck threes all game, but they're going to have to stick to their game plan and try to work the ball inside against these twin towers. A travel by Avery Porter in the corner, and another turnover for the Yotes, their 4th of the game already. Seeing our first glimpses of Jada Clark and Tatum Thompson. Thompson, number 0, one of those stellar sophomores. But they're going to call an offensive foul on her, lowering the shoulder against her former high school teammate Brooke Beresford. No love lost.
Oh man.
Or pardon me, that was Mackenzie Hirsch who's guarding her. But you already start to see a little bit about the style of play that Tatum Thompson likes to play. A shot creator, really aggressive, pulls up. As the referees come over and mention they are going to look for a possible intentional foul here. I mean, you were a physical player in the day.
I don't see the intentional foul. She was just driving to elevate.
So you see brief little jab step, lowers the shoulder into the jump hop. That's kind of what the modern game has turned into. Absolutely. Is that you have to seek contact to do that, but at the same time, these referees and these officials these are points of emphasis that they're told to look at before the season, and especially this one, lowering the shoulder, has been a big one this offseason.
Yeah, I don't think she was intentionally trying to lower her shoulder. She was just trying to gather herself and get into her rhythm for her shot. I don't think anything intentional was there, but I can see how it could happen
Well, we can see from our post here that Mackenzie Hirsch, who was on the receiving end of that Tatum-Thompson drive, has a bloody nose.
Yeah.
Or
I think it's her mouth.
bloody mouth maybe. So that might have prompted the officials to go take another look at it. Obviously, it could happen in any possible scenario, but this certainly is a reason that they are going to take another look at this. This College of Idaho team has a first-year head coach in Kyle Erickson. They have gotten off to a tough start, 0-4 so far this season. Kyle Erickson previously at Pacific U, and they've also got another really young coach, a College of Idaho alum himself, Andrew Bruce, played 4 years with the Yotes on the men's side, graduated in 2018. So a crew that is familiar with College of Idaho, but at the same time, not necessarily familiar with the whole roster. Like, not all of these players are your recruits. And so it's tough for that coach to come in, gain the trust of everyone, and keep continuity for this team. You did not have to deal with that at all. I want to get to Gordy, because Gordy Presnell has been a staple of Boise State women's basketball for years in his 19th season here. 334 wins, the winningest coach in Broncos history. Tell me a little bit about your time with Coach Gordy.
He was a good coach. I think
Just a good coach?
He's a great coach.
There we go.
He's a little bit quiet, but he knows his stuff, and he is going to make you the best player that he can.
Mooney trying to drive on Clark. Jump stops, and will note that the previous foul on Thompson was a simple foul, nothing intentional in it. Austin, 2 on the shot clock. Can't put it up over the length of Thompson. Did Beresford get that one off in time? No, she did not. And the second shot clock violation forced by the Broncos defense. And Shay, we talk a lot about this offense and seeing what they have revamped in the offseason, how they want to run, but let's talk about this defense. They have also tried to really consolidate, but at the same time fly around a lot more. What have you seen from them?
I think this last possession was a great defensive possession. Everyone was in their spots and where they were supposed to be and flying around, and I think the biggest part for their defense is going to be communication. They need to communicate with where they're going and where they should be and where someone else needs to fill in.
And does that start with one person, or can one player on the court really spark that with everyone else?
Oh, absolutely. One person can spark it, but it takes the whole team.
Great contest by Christensen there. Sorry, Shay.
No worries. I was just going to say that it takes the talking, but it also takes listening. So just full communication, and you have to be listening to where someone else is leaving, so you can fill that spot and be there.
Trista Hole's offensive rebound falls to the hands of Alyssa Christensen, who puts up the easy deuce. 19-8 lead. And another travel called on the College of Idaho, their 6th turnover of the game. But you look at the other side, Boise State has 3 turnovers against a College of Idaho defense who has not been the stingiest, let's say.
I think half of College of Idaho's turnovers are from travels.
I think you might be right there. Jada Clark, shot clock turned off, 12 to go, gets a screen from Hull. Skips to Christensen. Thompson, corner 3 ball, off the mark. Tipped out by Hull. Great heady play. Jada Clark wants to go. Has it blocked away by Mooney as the first quarter comes to a close. Boise State, rather impressive, 19-8 so far. Second quarter coming up next. Second quarter about to get underway. The Broncos of Boise State lead the College of Idaho Yotes 19-8. Shay, we were talking in the break about how this team can improve, and a huge reason is this second unit. Danny Bays knocks in her second 3 of the game, and this is a telltale sign. How will this 5 communicate and work together on the floor?
I think that this 5 right here is going to determine a lot of things. I think it'll see how deep our bench really is and how well they can play together and how well they mix with the starting 5. I think that these guys' communication so far is pretty great in the first 30 seconds.
Forces the turnover. from College of Idaho. Bays pulls again. Offensive rebound by Trista Hull. Comes down with it, kicks it out to Jada Clark. Wide open, decides to take it herself. Tipped out by Christensen, thought Bays was there, but you're already seeing Boise State exploit their size inside between Hull, Christensen, Muse, Lalott. What are you supposed to do?
Box out. Or try to box out.
Easier said than done. Lindsay Lovrich seeing her first action of the young season so far today. She checks in for Danny Bays. You're going to see just about everyone on this bench emptied out today. Kristen Wemhoff, 13 in black, enters the game. She's in the far side, or near side corner, rather, on your screen. Trista Hull comes down with yet another rebound. Had 14 and 10 in the exhibition against the Masters, did Hull. Pump fake, I don't think anyone's falling for that one. Christensen, the offensive rebound, and another tie-up. She may be working on her game, Trista Hull, but I don't know if she's quite added that to her repertoire.
I don't think so either. I don't think anyone fell for that shot fake.
Jada Reed, the point for the Yotes, working on Jada Clark. Beresford, deep two. And a rebound for Lovrich. Clark out the other direction, dribble handoff to Thompson. You know she is not shying away from a look. Oh, and just gave that one away, did Jada Clark. Beresford working with numbers. Goes right at the body of Christensen. Still has it blocked away and still ends up in the hands of the young transfer. Pushing the pace. Lovrich finds Thompson. Looking inside and lost the momentum. Now you got to go into the secondary break. Lovrich fouled by Beresford, and a near platoon swap coming for Boise State.
I think they need to take advantage of that. Exactly. You see her take that one dribble. If she comes back, she's got her pinned on the block.
So she's got to come off the screen, wait for the roll,
yep,
and then reverse pivot,
or
into the post.
even take another dribble back and go into the post, because she's going to bury her on that roll, especially with our size. Again, same thing.
Lalott, offensive rebound. Lovrich, offensive rebound. Another second chance. And you would love to see Boise State start to take advantage of these second chance opportunities. A foul by Wemhoff on the MK narrow drive.
I think this is where they're a little too focused on running the plays instead of trying to play basketball.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point of an offensive set, is to get you set and then you play basketball off of it.
Yep.
But how hard is it, especially when you're learning a new offense, you have young players, how hard is it to get them to know how to play naturally as Maya Hansen buries a three?
It's difficult to know when, as a player, you don't have to know all of the options and you can just relax. I think that's going to have to come a little bit from the seniors, being, hey, we can start this play off this way, but we need to just relax and, at the end of the day, play basketball.
Great little backdoor look from Idaho, College of Idaho, rather. And that three off the mark from Walter Meyer. That goes into part of our conversation that we were, just the two of us, talking about pregame in Tatum Thompson and how she is such a talented player, but the decision-making might not always be there on a consistent basis. And I was asking you, how do you teach decision-making? Because that feels like one of the most difficult things, because you cannot get inside the head of a 19-year-old girl. It's just impossible.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the head of a 19-year-old girl. I was there. But being comfortable and knowing where you're supposed to be, where everyone else is supposed to be, and just knowing the game and knowing what you're looking for, that's how you get comfortable, and that's how you make those decisions. Become a better decision maker.
Jada Reed picked up her second foul of the game. She checks out for Anna Mooney, pardon me. Hansen kicks back to Muse from the right elbow. Yet another offensive rebound, almost, from Elodie Lalott. How many offensive rebounds? Is that 9 total for Boise State already? That's a travel.
Walking.
With 6:10 left in the second quarter here in the first half, Boise State leading 25-8. Talia Lundquist alongside Shea Shaw. Boise State with their new offense finally looks inside to Muse, goes against 3 defenders through the arms of Anna Mooney, gets the call. And this is what we were talking about. I was talking to Carrie Ann Ramirez a few days ago, last week, preparing for this game, and she said a line that I really, really enjoyed, and it makes so much sense for our conversation. She said, we want these girls to play free within reason, right? So to stay inside the set, but still playing basketball.
I'm sorry, Buster walked by and I'm terrified.
Terrified of Buster?
Yeah, he's scary. Anyway, yeah, I think that those guidelines are the plays. That's just your starting point, and that's all that they're asking for is you to just stay within the play, but play within the play, if that makes any sense.
It makes sense to me. Lovrich gets thrown to the ground by Walter Meyer. He'll call her with the personal foul. And more free throws coming for Boise State. A not phenomenal from the charity stripe last year for Boise State. 67, just over 67% last year. What is there a mark that every team wants to aim for, or is it just, hey, we have a lot of bigs that we play and we're not going to be a good free throw shooting team?
I don't know that there's a mark that anyone aims for. There probably is. But free throws, I know Coach P he's very keen on free throws, and when we played, we shot a lot of free throws and we ran if we didn't make them.
I think at every level of the game, making free throws makes a difference.
Absolutely.
And I was always taught, because little did you know about me, I played a little. As the Yotes finally get a bucket inside and get to double digits with 10. But I was always taught that you want to be able to, they keep interrupting me. My goodness, it's just bucket after bucket. Maya Hansen, another 3-ball. To my point, I was always taught that you want to make as many free throws as the other team attempts. And that is a really good sense that you are outperforming your opponent.
Oh, yeah. I think that anytime you get to the line, you want to be I lost my train of thought. You want to make your free throws.
Must have been Buster.
He really stresses me out.
Mia Austin gets the screen, dribble handoff with Mooney. Mooney trying to work inside. Great back screen, but a great interception by Lalott, or at least tipped it away. And another travel by the Yotes. 32-10, the Boise State Broncos lead. We'll be right back after this break. Boise State leads, and a huge part of that is a member of the stellar sophomores, Danny Bays, been lighting it up from the floor.
You leave her open, and she's going to drain it. Reminds me a lot of Riley Lupfer.
Ooh.
She can shoot it.
There you go.
You just got to find her.
They got to look inside. You threw your hand out there.
It's there.
When you get Muse in such deep position, you have to find her. Lovrich on the skip pass.
Ooh.
Oh, just missed the lefty lay, and Lalott's fouled on her attempt.
Lindsay stole my number, but that was a nice drive. Looking like me out there.
You a slasher?
No.
I've seen your tape.
That was a very nice drive. It reminded me of something I would have done.
All
and
right.
she's wearing my number, so.
There you go. Lalott, true on the first. Shot just 57.5% from the free throw line last year. He goes 2 for 2 on that trip. 8 from 9 from the free throw line so far for the Broncos. Pretty solid start there. And 0 free throw attempts for the Yotes. They go inside to Beresford, giving up about 6 inches to Muse. Porter kicks to Austin. Austin drives. Ball fake. Puts it off the glass. Rebound Beresford. And then back to the Broncos. Hansen pushing the pace. Lovrich inside to Muse. Wasn't quite ready for it. Kicks back. Got to look inside. Finds Lalott. Great little drop step and an easy bucket.
Easy buckets.
That's what you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Easy buckets.
(36-10), the lead for Boise State. And what we have not seen yet that I was looking forward to was a Brooke Beresford and Tatum Thompson matchup. Got to see those two guard each other. Mia Austin trying to penetrate, kicks back to Beresford, who buries a three. And Brooke Beresford, well acquainted with Boise State. Not only her former high school teammate Tatum Thompson plays for the team, but both of her 2 older brothers play for the football team.
There is a rumor they are in attendance. I believe they are here.
I would absolutely believe that, as they should. Nice little high-low action inside to Abby Muse. Beresford hands off to Hirsch, who's back into the game after catching a stray shoulder from Thompson.
Nice hands.
By Mary Kay Narrow, unbelievable poke check. And she is all over the ball when she may well be the best on-ball defender on this roster. 4 subs come in for the Broncos. Natalie Pasco, Danny Bays, Trista Hull, and Alyssa Christensen there. I just pulled a Shea Shaw. Pulled my train of thought. Mia Austin's floater misses into the hands of Bays. Hansen pushes. Hull trying to go high-low, finds Bays.
She's waiting for that roll because it's been there.
Hull double team down low, kicks back Hansen. Hansen pulls. And finally, the College of Idaho only allows 1 shot attempt on that possession. Hirsch, mid-range. They're going to call a defensive foul on Trista Hull. I have never been a fan of a good box out being called a foul. She may have hooked her, though.
She may have hooked her. She hooked her a little bit. Just a little bit.
Mia Austin.
Look at that. Everyone boxed out.
That great box out. Then you get a leak out, but undershoots the pass. Austin trying to hesitate. He goes into the body of Hansen, and a block is called. Feet were never set. So Mia Austin will have 2 tries at the line. And that's the transition offense that you have to take advantage of for Boise State. And then on the other end for the College of Idaho, that's about as good of a possession as you can expect out of transition. That's exactly what you want. Put a foul on one of the ball handlers at Boise State and get 2 free looks at the line.
Easy buckets. Free throws should be easy buckets.
There goes 1 for 2. Hansen in the corner. Looks inside to Hull. That's beautiful basketball.
Nice roll, wide open, nice layup. That's what we want.
Good back cut by Mooney. Was afraid of Trista Hull coming over from the weak side, but still drops in the easy layup. Bays inside to Hull. Great rim run. Just lost it. Able to kick it out safely. Hansen driving in. Another offensive rebound for the Broncos. Kick back. Pasco drains it. 43-16. Boise State leads in just the second quarter. It's the first half whittling down. 10 on the shot clock. Beresford kicks to Hirsch. Hirsch driving on Pasco. Had it poked away. Kicks back. Beresford, 3-ball. Air ball, hole. Shot clock violation. Shot clock turned off with 24.4 remaining in the half. Jada Clark checks in for Maya Hansen.
Bronco.
Been in the playbook for ages.
I think it's been in the playbook literally for ages, but it works.
Danny Bays pulled the deep one, and Coach Presnell said, "What are we doing? We wanted one shot." And shot with about 8 seconds remaining in the half. So now College of Idaho has 5.5 to get one off. Mooney sprint dribbling across the half-court line. Kick back. That's the Villanova play. Beresford didn't get it off. And into halftime, Boise State leads 43-16. Incredible performance so far, and a lot more to come. We'll be right back. At the half, a little half-court shot competition. But at the half, Boise State leading 43-16. Taylor Lundquist alongside Shea Shaw. We got to see this one through. Oh, we got it! Oh my gosh!
Fake is open.
Goes crazy.
Stay away from me, Buster.
A great first half for the Broncos outside of that half-court shot, but there were some deep balls falling for Boise State on their end. 5 for 14 from beyond the arc in the first half. Pretty impressive what they put together from there.
Absolutely. Danny with the threes. I think her shot is just, when she's open and hitting those threes, that's really something to see.
Yeah, Danny Bays, Maya Hansen. I think they combined for all 5 of those, actually. I think that was pretty much exactly it. So they did it from around the arc, and then they also did it on the inside. And a huge part of that is Elodie Lalotte, who is a senior from France, has been a mainstay of Broncos women's basketball for the last few years. What can you say about what she has shown and what she proves to this team day in, day out?
Oh, if she's scoring and getting in the inside, everyone else is going to open up. So if Elodie's always going to be a threat, and as long as they keep making her the threat and getting it inside, they're going to open up on the outside.
Yeah, it's just so easy when you get positioning like that, and all you have to do is just drop to one side, throw it up and in. I mean, when you're getting easy buckets to bucket makers, there's really no team that can beat you.
No one can beat you. If you're getting easy buckets and doing the little things, no one can beat you.
Well, a very solid first half from Boise State. Again, they lead it 43-16. More from us in a bit. Back here in ExtraMile Arena, you can see why Boise State is out to a 43-16 lead, doubling up more so than the College of Idaho Yotes in the field goal percentage category. Free throws, small sample size for the Yotes, but it's those turnovers from the College of Idaho that has been an absolute momentum killer. A lot of those coming off of travels that we recently talked about, but Boise State has 10 points off of those 10 turnovers from the Yotes, and just 1 point do the College of Idaho have points off turnovers. So what else did you see, Shay, out of this first half of the Broncos?
I think one of the biggest things I've seen is rebounds, offensive and defensive. The offensive rebounds are giving us those second chance opportunities, and I mean, I think we had one play or one period where we had 3 offensive rebounds,
yep.
And that's just giving us more opportunities to score. I think another thing that is key to helping them is to not, or excuse me, the Yotes to not get those second chance opportunities. So giving us getting those defensive rebounds and then in turn pushing the floor and keeping that tempo up.
Yeah, you talk about a team in Boise State, and we've talked about there was virtually zero turnover in this roster. And it's a team who last year led the Mountain West Conference in rebounds per game at just over 40. And that's rebounds in general. That's defensive and offensive rebounding. And even in the defensive rebounding category, they had the highest defensive rebound percentage by possession in the conference as well. That is a big-time factor that coaches are going to look at.
Oh, absolutely. And I know Sower is extremely excited about those rebounds. She always is pushing those, and so I think that's a huge key.
Back here in ExtraMile Arena, Taylor Lundquist and Shea Shaw. Boise State up 43-16 as we make our way to the second half. And Shea, this is a team that we have talked about over and over again, how there are no new faces really outside of one, maybe two on this roster. And a lot of the people who are looking at this team are noting that as well. They see this as a newly matured team and one that is going to exceed expectations, and that's shown in the Mountain West preseason poll. What do you expect to see out of them this year?
I expect them to go further than they did last year. I think they have that experience and that confidence, and I think that that's going to take them further than they think it will.
Yeah, you talk about a team who really just put it together down the stretch. They got off to a really slow start, and then they won 8 of their last 11 games last year. It was a young team. You had 4 freshmen in that young class, and they matured throughout the season. It was easy to tell just by the flow of offense and defense that they had, and now they get to show that over an off season what they have put together, and it's really impressive so far to see all that they're doing. Granted, they are playing not a preseason team, but the first game of the regular season against an NAIA school, but still, it is impressive what they have done.
Absolutely. I think that they're only going to carry over what they started last season, and hopefully they carry it pretty far into the Mountain West tournament and keep growing.
Broncos finished 7th last year in the conference, projected 4th this year, and here's who they will face prior to that conference schedule. A lot of games in the month of November. You have Weber State coming up, UC Riverside, Pepperdine, and then you go on the road for the holiday tournament against Santa Clara and Rutgers in Las Vegas. Shea, what is it about those team trips early in the season that help grow a team and their chemistry?
You get to bond a little bit on those travel games. You're traveling together, you're staying together, you're eating together, you're doing all of this stuff together. So
yeah, you never get tired of each other. That doesn't happen.
No, never. No, you really don't. And honestly, good teams shouldn't be getting tired of each other. You should be growing and learning the little things that you want to see on the court, off the court. I think that's just opportunity for the team to come together.
When you saw BYU down far on that non-conference schedule in December, they got it handed to them by Maya Hansen. She put up 31 on them last year, and that is always a heated rivalry when you are in Boise, Idaho. There are a lot of BYU alums that don't necessarily support Boise State, but they will absolutely see that game, and the Broncos always love to have that competition, and you played in a few of those games yourself.
I did not play BYU.
That's exactly right.
But I played in those big games, and they are always fun.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's more fun to play in those challenge games where you have to come with your best or you don't have a chance.
Absolutely. It sets the tone early, and I think it makes it more interesting.
Well, second half about to get underway. The original starting 5 on the floor for both squads. Maya Hansen, Mary Kay Narrow, Elodie Lalotte, Natalie Pasco, and Abby Muse on the floor for Boise State. Jada Reed, Darby Avery, Kylie Waltermeyer, Mackenzie Hirsch, and Bree Graham for the Yotes. Oh, skip pass, and Narrow and Muse were on different pages of the same chapter. And immediately after the first possession, you look over to the Boise State bench, and Gordy Presnell has his head between his knees, his head in his hands. I am mixing up so many different idioms, and I'm loving them all. Narrow kicks back to the lot. Corner, Pasco. Don't leave her open.
You really can't leave our shooters open. They're going to drain it in your face.
Natalie Pasco a year ago, just over 8 points per game. Shot 36.5% from beyond the arc, the 5'10" sophomore from Danville, California. Graham driving on the lot. Good footwork from the Parisian. 3 seconds in the key is finally called. You called that about 3 seconds ago.
She'd been there for a while. I think she'd been there for 6 seconds before he called 3.
Muse, ball screen for Hansen. Ball screen defense a little shoddy there from the College of Idaho. No contest for the mid-range pull-up, but didn't need it. As the Yotes come down with a defensive rebound, Waltermeyer surveying. Kicks back to Jada Reed. Might have a step on Muse if she decides to use it. Back door to Avery. Kick back Hirsch. Corner 3. Rebound Muse. Pushing the pace is Narrow. Narrow looking up to Pasco. That is spectacular. Fast break basketball.
Pushing the ball. Exactly what they want to do.
And you always want your point guard pushing the pace with those deep passes. MK Narrow does it best. Back in a bit. 48-16 the score. Broncos lead, and Natalie Pasco has been red hot coming out of halftime.
Looks like she can do it all. She can hit the 3. She can drive. She can hit a pull-up. Can't really stop her these days.
And Natalie Pasco is at her best when the whole team offense is at its best. She is a beneficiary of high-quality play. Spot-up shooter, backdoor, runs the floor well, gets out and spaces it, and always ready for her opportunity. Dribble handoff to Hansen, gets a screen on the baseline side from the lot, crosses up Waltermeyer. Now driving baseline, tried to go over the top, deflected and stolen by Mackenzie Hirsch. Jada Reed, pump fake. No roll from Avery. Avery now drives, has it poked away, and possession stays with the Yotes. Drive inside, Waltermeyer misses the mark. A lot to Narrow. Speed dribble past half court. Pulls back, looks inside, deep position, and a foul before Muse really even had her hands on the ball.
She had her buried immediately.
And it is so hard to deal with that in transition when you get a rim run. We talked about that early in this game. When your bigs have a high motor, as Pasco has another wide open mid-range and knocks it in. But when your posts are running the floor, it absolutely changes the game.
Oh, it opens everything up, especially if they're running down and posting and getting that defensive draw in. It opens everything up.
Backdoor deflected off the hand of Abby Muse. Possession stays with the Yotes, and the shot clock stays at 11. Beresford checks in for Graham. Jada Reed pulls from way beyond. Narrow comes down with a sturdy rebound, kicks it up to Pasco. Pasco, Euro, lay, just misses. Muse tries to tap it up and in, and was fouled on the go.
That was a great opportunity and drive by Pasco, but there was a 3-on-2 opportunity there.
So what would you like to see there instead?
I would have liked to have seen him pass it to Abby, who was cutting down the middle wide open,
Yeah.
instead of making a tough Euro. Granted, she got there, but I think Abby would have had a little bit of an easier job getting there.
Danny Bays and Tatum Thompson check in for the Broncos, wearing their home whites. Orange lettering and numerals. That Boise blue trim. Hansen, dribble handoff with Bays. Spot up once again. I'm not going to say anything on that. And Trista Hull will check in for Abby Muse. So here's kind of the mix and match of the starters in second unit. These are the glue groups that you have to have play well throughout a season, and it starts in these early games.
They got to come off the bench ready, knowing what plays they're running, what defense they should be in, what the screen package is. You have to come off the bench ready to make an impact.
Good little floater in the key by Kylie Waltermeyer. And now another foul called on the College of Idaho, their third of the quarter. Just 2 away from the bonus. Bays drives wide open. Easy lay. That's a great seal by Trista Hull. The posts never get enough love in the pick and roll.
They really don't. Speaking as a half postie,
postie. Point forward, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say point forward. Ooh.
Nero comes down with it, kicks back to Hansen. Bays on the other side. Thompson up top looking. Another screen from Hull. Kicks back Hansen. Nero. Stop. Pops. No good. Rebound Hull. No foul called. Puts it up and in again. The second chance points. We talked about it once and will continue doing so. That is 21 second chance points for Boise State tonight.
Offensive rebounds.
Trista Hull with 4 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, and a block, just filling up the stat sheet. Travel called on Jada Reed.
That was really good defense by Maya. She got to her points and just kept sliding with her and didn't reach. Did everything defensively that she was supposed to.
And I know they are different players, but I love seeing how much Maya Hansen has grown into her role as a ball handler while playing with Mary Kay Nero. It is really fun to see how the two balance each other out. They're going to call an illegal screen on Trista Hull. Caitlin Burgess entered the game. She was on the ball. Boise State continues to lead big, 54-18 over the Yotes. Well, Boise State was efficient in the first half. They have come out here in the second and really been putting on a clinic. They are outscoring the Yotes 12-2 so far in this third quarter. Air ball from Austin.
Broncos are playing really good team defense right now. They are where they should be. They are communicating with one another.
Broncos shooting 50% from the field. And you can add a notch to that as Trista Hull. She might not have added the 3-ball to her game, but she's got a little more mid-range.
Mm-hmm. Her mid-range shot is actually very pretty. It's I think it'll scare some people down the road.
Good crossover from Waltermeyer. Had it picked by Bays. Looking up, Thompson finds the streaking Nero. Misses the right-handed layup. Another offensive rebound for Boise State. Hull, a screen on Nero, looks inside. That's phenomenal. It's exactly how a pick and roll should be run.
She kept the ball high so that the little guards couldn't come down and grab it. It's perfect.
drive by Beresford misses just about everything. Narrow. Finally, the Yotes get back in transition. Narrow took a bump, no call. And then tipped out of bounds, lashed by Tatum Thompson. Jada Clark checks back in for the Broncos. Anna Mooney and Kristen Wemhoff for the College of Idaho. So all non-starters on the floor now for the Yotes. Same goes for the Broncos. You're going to see a lot of that down the stretch here. 58-18 Boise State leads. Beresford poked away again by Bays. Ends up with Thompson. Thompson tries to run the break. Goes over the top and into the arm of Mia Austin. Trista Hull gets on the floor in a scramble. Jump ball, possession arrow, College of Idaho. And that's that decision-making we were talking about with another young player who is not used to running the break with the ball in her hands.
I don't disagree with the decision. I would have made the same decision,
okay.
Just harder pass.
Okay.
She kind of floated it there. Just, you need to be a little crisper with it.
Gets the swat, does Thompson. Stays in bounds. Gets the rebound. Kicks it out to Jada Clark, who has it taken away. Mia Austin secretly snuck up on her. And then tipped away by Jada Clark, who thought it went off of Beresford's knee.
Jada needs to come to that ball. She was running away, trying to leak out. And with your post players and knowing you have some defense in there, you got to come to the ball.
College of Idaho, somewhat of a stagnant offense this possession. Beresford working inside, kicks back to the lefty Mooney. Beresford pulls up, had it blocked by Trista Hull. Rebound out of the hands by Thompson, and then Wemhoff was fouled, who tried to put it up immediately. And the foul will go against Tatum Thompson. Yeah, and Thompson just trying to go after that ball, and ball ended up in Wemhoff's hands, and so did Tatum Thompson, who knocks in the first. Does Wemhoff. We were talking about Trista Hull and how effective she has been for this Boise State team. Had 14 points, 10 rebounds a few days ago in the exhibition against the Masters. She's already got 8 and 7 with an assist and a block today. 2 blocks. Burgess for 3, just off the rim. Rebound Wemhoff, who loses it out of bounds. And Alyssa Christensen comes in to give Trista Hull a bit of a spell. Bays, mid-range pull-up, off the mark, rebound Austin. I will say, Boise State's transition defense has been great. They have never really allowed any numbers for the College of Idaho. Porter now driving on Christensen, the lefty. Ooh, tricky little lay.
That was honestly good defense, just a really good shot. I think the Broncos are playing good defense overall. They just need to keep it up.
Kick back to Clark. Had the 3 if she wanted it, decided to pass it up. This is the point in the game where you start saying, we don't want a good shot, we want great shots. Burgess finds one, misses the mark. Almost another offensive rebound for Boise State. 58-21 the lead for the Broncos. Mooney pulls and hits it. Just rattles in. The College of Idaho now has 8 points in every single quarter. Exactly 8 points. Clark pick and roll, kicks back to Christensen. She can shoot it and shows it. Alyssa Christensen, who had the most three-point field goal attempts last year at the College of Southern Idaho with 126 on the season. A 6'3" forward shooting 126 threes. I mean, granted at a 27% clip, but she's not going to stop. Half-second difference between the shot and game clock. Almost tipped away by Burgess with a call of foul. I love to see a stretch 5. I think that might be my favorite position in the entire game.
I agree.
And that might have been the piece that Boise State was missing. They have never really had, or at least in recent years, a post be able to knock it in from deep. 1 second, Austin floats it from deep mid-range and misses off the front iron. College of Idaho, consistent to say the least. 8 in the first, 8 in the second, 8 in the third. Boise State leads 61-24. Well, Boise State in years past, or at least last year, their highest scoring quarter was the third quarter the entire season. They put up the fewest points in this third quarter of the game so far with 18. Alyssa Christensen wants another and cans another.
Give it to her. She's feeling it.
Why not? We need a heat check. Once you hit 2, right? The third's always a heat check. Bree Graham back into the game, trying to back down Christensen. Step through, pass to Wimhoff underneath. Mooney trying to reverse pivot, kicks it out. Graham pump fake, drive with the left hand. Tipped back to Beresford. Shot clock goes to 20. Another miss by the Yotes.
Post up. See right there, we needed Tatum to post up. She's not a natural post, but she needed to sprint the floor and post up.
Wemhoff misses the breakaway layup. Christensen down with the rebound. Clark tried to find Bays on the run. Now Bays, 10 points on the afternoon. Evening. I think anything after 5 o'clock is the evening. Burgess drives, gets it poked away. Wemhoff ends up with it. Has a wide open path, but Jada Clark came all the way back to block it from behind. Mooney then left wide open, and a second chance opportunity for the Yotes cashes in. Timeout called by the College of Idaho. We will step aside. 64-27, 8:33 left in the game. We'll be right back. Talia Lundquist and Shay Shaw with you as we take a look at who is currently on a heater, Alyssa Christensen, in this second half. She's got 10 in the game so far with 4 rebounds as well, and she's knocked in 2 for 2 from the three-point line. Burgess wants to go and adds in on the action. Boise State now 9 for 21 from the three-point line, shooting over 40% tonight, 66-27. And Shay, we were just talking in the timeout break, and I wanted to ask you, how do you retain focus deep into a fourth quarter of a game where you're up almost 40 points, make that 41 after the bucket from Loveridge?
Wow. This is the time to focus on the little things. Focus on your closeouts. Focus on where you should be on defense. And I think the biggest thing is a perfect closeout can lead to perfect defense. And right now, that's where you should be practicing those things, because it's only going to get tougher as the season goes on.
Jada Clark into the body of Jada Reed, gets the foul. Block called on Reed. It'll be her third personal. And 2 shots at the line for Jada Reed. But that is something you mentioned, the closeouts, that Coach Ramirez, before the season even started, said, with this kind of new defensive mentality change that we have to be better at closeouts, because when you're flying around, it's hard to be in the right position to then have a true contest. And if they can contest threes and outside shots better, then just let those big posts go to work.
Yeah.
Get those boards.
It starts with a closeout. A really good closeout will put you in the perfect defensive stance, so you can be prepared to go anywhere you need to go.
Are you a fan of the flyby contest?
No, absolutely not, because you take yourself out of the play. You take yourself away from your team, and being able to get a steal or get that stop. You just completely take yourself out of it.
Plus, you look absolutely goofy if they pump fake you. That was a trip by Tatum Thompson. Kind of lost her footing as Mackenzie Hirsch was driving on her. We see number 5 check in white for the first time today, Allie Heckman, the 5'10 redshirt sophomore from Burns, Oregon, getting her first minutes this evening. Still waiting for 2 names to check in to round out the box score and have everyone get a minute. Jada Reed just long on her 3-ball attempt. Tatum Thompson trying to run, finds Heckman, and just blows the wide open layup. Hirsch, a 2-on-1. Inside to Avery. Avery lost the handle, and here comes Clark in the other direction. Kick back. Burgess.
Ooh. Good shot. Just didn't fall.
Bree Graham cashes in another. She's 2 for 4 from beyond. Shoots over 50% of her shots from the 3-point line. And right on cue, here are the last 2 Broncos to check into the game. They're waiting at the scorer's table as they look on as Tatum Thompson splashes a 3-ball.
3-4-3. Both of them got to keep their hands up, I guess.
Burgess, spot up.
I really thought that was going to be the one.
Looked a little flat coming out. Jada Reed goes inside to Darby Avery, trying to work her footwork. Now Hirsch working on Lavrovich, still working on that name. Mia Austin inside, goes into Avery. Avery working on Thompson, drop step. No foul called, but misses. Lavrovich comes down with it. Burgess might have traveled. No call.
Good no call.
Went back and forth. This game has become. Jada Reed, pump fake drive. She's left-handed, but shoots with her right. Bree Graham driving on Heckman. Pump fake, going to the line.
This is where that early timeout comes into effect. They're getting a little tired and a little bit sloppy. This is where they really need to focus on those key little things.
Mackenzie Narrow and Sydney McQuieter check in to round out the box sheet for the Boise State Broncos tonight. And a few more substitutions for the College of Idaho as well. Dania Williams checks in. She's wearing number 12 in black. Brooke Zimmerman as well. As Bree Graham knocks in the first of 2 at the line. And then misses the second. She knew that someone was checking in for her and just wanted a few more minutes on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
That's always the case. McQuieter, ball screen. Lavrovich, great drive. Got bumped in the air by Zimmerman, and she'll have 2.
She could have spun back middle. Look, she's got her. Oh, she picked up her dribble a little bit early, but if she took one more dribble and spun back to the middle, she'd have a wide open layup.
I had 2 moves in my day. I had a drop step and a spin move. Those were my 2 moves.
My favorite was a spin move.
It is really hard to beat a good spin move. Just that plant foot, hard spin off of it.
And then you can fake the spin.
Well, I always got too dizzy if that happened. I would lose my footing, lose my balance. I was not the most in control player when I was on the floor. Great rebound, aggressive rebound, but then throws it right away to Williams. Williams kicks back. Airball attempt from Madeline Keener, who sees her first action today and gets saluted by the Boise State band. And McKenna Brandner rounds out the 5 on the floor for the College of Idaho. Mooney travels. Or stepped out of bounds, rather. 51 rebounds on the evening for Boise State. A good start to see their bread and butter. Clark had it blocked away by Zimmerman. The other thing I love to see is percentage of field goals assisted. And on 27 field goals today for Boise State, 18 of them assisted. That's a pretty good percentage there.
That's beautiful right there. That's some good old basketball.
Dania Williams. Baby hook with the left. No go. Offensive rebound, Yotes. 3-ball Mooney splash. And with 3:20 to go in the game, Boise State holding on to a 40-point lead, 74-34. McQuieter called for an illegal screen. And Madeline Neal checks in for the Yotes. Williams to Zimmerman. That's a good little slip screen there. Narrow from deep. Why not? The 10th three-point field goal for Boise State tonight. Mackenzie Narrow, sister of Mary Kay, says, "You're in the box sheet enough. Let me get my name in there." Good box out underneath by Narrow.
Run. Ooh. Hammer.
Well, you were
Baseline
walking
pass
through
is
all
open.
the little minute names that you heard through your tenure here at Boise State. I love hearing it. Williams off the mark with her 3. I just love that when a coaching staff has been together for so long that their terminology does not change.
No.
And I just love that you can point it out still.
Well, it was beat into our brain. Not beat into our brains, but it was so ingrained in my basketball knowledge.
Stamped.
Yes, stamped.
Narrow comes off the McQuieter screen, kick back to Clark, wide open corner pocket 3-ball, rebound. Lavrovich never missed twice. Well, spoke too soon. McQuieter called for the foul on the box out. Well, Shay and I will be with you for the next few games. Broncos have a week off until their next one against Weber State here in ExtraMile Arena. You can catch us again on the Mountain West Network. That one another 6:30 Mountain Time tip. Zimmerman with 5 on the shot clock. Pump fake, drive, throws up a floater, misses, gets her own rebound. Ends up in the hands of Neal. Neal kicks to Williams, who somehow winds up wide open. And Lavrovich comes down with the rebound. Under a minute remaining. I think it's safe to say this is a Boise State win. 77-34. Lavrovich, Clark can run this one down. Maybe run one more set. But Shay, tell me a little bit about
Hammer.
Let's start with the good that you saw tonight.
I think they played really good team defense. I think throughout the whole game there was not a moment where there was one person not playing together with the team. I think we shot the ball really, really well. I think that's something we can expect to see. Coach P loves to shoot threes, and I think another positive is we did a lot better on our free throws than we did in our exhibition game, so I think that's one of my other positives.
Yeah, 11 for 15 from the charity stripe were the Broncos tonight. Well, let's go to, I don't want to say the bad, but what needs to be improved upon in the next week before the next competition?
I think being a little more confident with their passes and having a little swagger to their game. I think you got to play with a little something, and I think that's a little bit, we're lacking in that area, and I think you can make those tough passes as long as you're confident in what you're doing.
Well, Boise State starts off their 53rd season with a W, 77-35 over the College of Idaho Yotes, their 16th consecutive win against the College of Idaho. And plenty more to come in this arena for Boise State. I love what you were just saying, Shay, talking about a swagger that you got to play with. And oftentimes, it can start with just one person. Someone's got to catch fire, but you don't even have to get hot. You don't have to be playing well to play with swagger.
Right.
Tell me about how that starts with someone.
I don't know how it starts. I think you...
Oh, you were that. You were that person.
I just had a little swagger to me. I just brought what I had, my character and like who I am, and I brought that to the floor. I wasn't afraid to do things that were a little bit out there or try those tougher passes. And I think it just comes with confidence and just playing.
So tell me what you expect to hear from this coaching staff. We're going to have a couple players come talk to us. I believe we're going to start with Danny Bays here. Yeah, we're going to move you to the side. We got a lot of work coming in. Danny Bays joins us on the headset in just a second. I know it's a tough headset to work. You're gonna have to go underneath there.
I don't.
Oh no, now it's backwards. You're gonna have to flip it around. You're gonna have to flip it around there. There we go. There we go.
Now push it down.
All right, Danny. Thanks for joining us here after the game. A great win, a 42-point win. Talk a little bit about first what your game plan was going into today.
As a team, we really wanted to show everyone what we've got this season. We've had a rough, like last year was rough for us. And we just want to show everyone what we've learned and how we've grown. And so I think it's a good start for us coming in and just doing, the basics. So, yeah, it was a good win, good team win, and we just want to keep growing, keep improving from that.
Yeah, great game out of you. A lot of confidence from beyond the arc. Never shying away from a shot. Tell me a little bit about your freshman season now in the offseason. In the offseason, you've grown as a player. Talk a little bit about that growth that you had in the offseason.
Definitely I come from Australia, so just adapting to the style over here. I think freshman year I definitely learned a lot in terms of the pace of the game and, the shots that I take and stuff like that. So definitely over this, over the break, I was really trying to just improve my confidence and just buckle down on what I know I can bring to the team. So, yeah.
Well, and for those who don't watch a lot of NBL, what are some of those differences that you see in the States versus Australia?
It's definitely a lot faster college basketball. We're getting up and down and probably physicality as well. It's just also playing in my own age group. I've always kind of had that leadership role above me. So kind of taking that on in this team and, kind of being a bit more of a role player, I guess. But, yeah, it's fun. I like it.
All right. Well, Shay and I were just talking. I do have one more quick question for you. We were just talking. Someone's got to step up with a little bit of swagger. Yeah. Do you got swagger?
Honestly, no.
Oh, man.
I don't have swagger, but I can add it to my improvement list for you guys.
I would love that.
Okay,
All right,
I'll
we're
do
going to
that.
hand the headset off to Natalie, I believe, here. Yeah, thank you, Danny.
you.
We appreciate you joining us. I love that. I love
Honestly,
the honesty
no.
on it.
Everyone's got a little
That's
swagger.
phenomenal.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Shay, I want you to get your take on Natalie here. Natalie, great game out of you. 12 points, 2 for 3 from the arc. You were seen as a big shooter last year. Now you've kind of grown your game a little bit. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's just important to keep working on the different aspects of my game. Obviously, I like to shoot, so just working on off the dribble or layups and stuff will really help.
Where's your favorite spot to shoot from on the court?
Probably the corner.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, not a common
corner's
answer.
Tough.
I wouldn't have guessed the corner, honestly.
Corner
I
or the wing, but
think wing and corner are very different. Is it
Yeah.
wing or is it the corner?
okay, probably the corner.
Do you have a specific corner? Because lefties and righties tend to prefer different corners.
Not really.
No, she's so good. She doesn't even care.
Just
It
likes
does
the
not
corner.
faze her. All right, tell me about what impressed you out of this team. Everyone got on the floor today. Really good team win.
Yeah, I think we just did a good job sticking with it, attacking the paint, getting open shots. I think we did a better job of that in the second half. That's definitely something we've been talking about, so just continue to work on that.
Yeah, your freshman class a year ago now turned sophomores. There's a great group of you, and you're getting a lot of minutes together. What's your chemistry like?
It's been really good to play with those other freshmen. I think coming in at the same time is going to help us continue to play well together and just kind of know where each other are on the court, so it's definitely helpful.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you joining us, Natalie. Thank you. And a good win to start the season.
Thank you.
All righty, a 77-35 win for Boise State. Shay, it was top to bottom a great win for the Broncos. They doubled up the Yotes in field goal percentage. Really good, as you mentioned, from the free throw line. They had just over 6 blocks a game a season ago. They hit that number with 7. 14 turnovers, maybe a number that you want to drop a little bit.
We want to see it drop below 10. I know Coach P likes to see it below 10. If you're below 10 turnovers, you're winning the game for sure. I think that they'll have to kind of focus on that with their new offense and trying to push the ball. Those turnovers are going to be a little bit higher, so that's to be expected, but it's definitely something they can improve on.
Well, Shay, do you have a quick player of the game that you saw tonight?
I think there's a few. I mean, I think having Danny here and having, Natalie up here as well, I think one additional player I would have loved to have heard from, or I think my player of the game would be Alyssa Christensen. She did phenomenal everywhere. She hit the 3, she was inside, and she played her role really well.
Yeah, I think it was great to see her kind of step into that role, and the coaching staff said she seamlessly fit in the offseason during that retreat and did a really good job. And it's tough as a transfer to do that, coming into a brand new roster that has been together for some time. Well, that is the Bronco legend, Shay Shaw. I'm going to keep saying that. Shay Shaw. I am Taylor Lundquist. A great win for Boise State. 77-35 to start off their season over the College of Idaho Yotes. More to come. Weber State a week from today.